Everyone who's played Minecraft knows the frustration that comes with not being able to finish a build. It's easy to start projects, but actually seeing them through to completion is just a massive struggle. And this is something that I personally have struggled with a lot. Looking back on all the worlds I've made over the past almost 15 years of playing the game, I've noticed that most of them still stand incomplete. But why exactly is this? Why is it so difficult to take a great idea of something fantastic we want to make and turn it into a completed product? I think the first issue arises when we see the game of Minecraft as something based on completion. Ultimately, this game was made not with completion in mind, but rather the journey, the exploration, the creativity. I mean, there isn't even technically an end to the game. Sure, you beat the Ender Dragon, but nowadays people can do that in 10 minutes. Then what? So if your starting mindset is, I'm gonna start this and finish this and have a completed product, you've already set yourself up for failure. And even if you do succeed in this, what are you going to do once you finish it? This is something that I've thought about a lot with my builds, is I almost don't want them to finish. Because as soon as they're done, I have nothing left to do with them. That project gets set aside and I move on to the next thing. And that's not the point of Minecraft. The point of Minecraft is to try to figure out how to overcome your obstacles to take your idea and turn it into a reality. And the focus of that, again, isn't the completed product, but it's the how you take your idea and move past each step. So the first step to being able to complete projects is to stop focusing on completing projects. And this is something I've been working on recently. There's a server I play on with some of my family and a bunch of my friends, and I've taken on some pretty massive projects on that. But what I've done instead of trying to complete these projects is to complete one step at a time. And I know everybody and their mother has said this advice, that it's all about the journey, not the end goal. But most video games aren't like that. And that's why Minecraft is so unique. You have to approach it from this mindset that I'm not going to finish this today. I might not even finish it this week, or if it's large enough this year, whatever it is you're building. But you have to take joy in the little steps. You know, they say Rome wasn't built in a day, but even if you're building Rome in Minecraft, it's still not going to be built in a day. So my advice to you is to find one little thing you can build, whether you're building a city, maybe just start with a house, or a wall, or something like that. And then remember, it is important, it is imperative, in fact, to take breaks, whether that's taking a break from the game as a whole, or simply doing a different project. Another thing I've found is helpful is I've got about 3 main projects as well as a bunch of little ones that come up along the way. For my personal survival experience, I found it is best to have a main survival base that you work on that is never complete, a separate base area which could be for industrial reasons, for decoration, whatever you want, and that will eventually be complete. And then a third area just for experimenting, having fun, doing whatever the heck you want to do. And this isn't the end-all be-all advice. You don't have to do exactly what I say, but what I suggest is figure out a system for you where you're no longer bogged down by the idea of slow progress, but you're looking forward to each and every step along the way. Another thing that is insanely useful is to take smaller projects on. Do something smaller than a mega base. You don't need to go out and build a grand cathedral. Start with just a house and figure out how to enjoy putting each and every detail together. Not only will this expand your abilities as a builder, but it'll give you more of that sense of completion. You will complete smaller things that are entirely finished, not just steps along the way. These can be separate builds entirely on their own, or they can also be just a part of that grand central build. It is entirely up to you. But you also have to understand that bigger isn't always better. There's no shame in building a 3x3 house. There's no shame in building a 17,000 by 17,000 block house. It really doesn't matter. In fact, I would recommend doing both. Maybe not to the extreme of 17,000 blocks, but I would suggest build something big, build something small, just have fun with it. Again, it's about the process and figuring out how to overcome each and every step and obstacle along the way. But then what if you have an idea and can't figure out where to even start? You look at all these tutorials online and they all say, start with a frame, start with a box, start with terraforming an area, something like that. But as I've experienced myself, that doesn't always work. It's not something that always comes naturally to me. I've seen myself several times not be able to picture even a frame of a building properly, or what the surrounding area is going to look like or anything like that. So if you're struggling like this, where then do you start? One thing I found super helpful is to not even start in Minecraft, but rather pull up something like MS Paint or Photoshop and just draw a rough idea of what you want. Because you can draw quickly, you can draw messily, it doesn't matter how bad it looks. Maybe take a screenshot of the area and get a pencil and draw over it and figure out what you want it to look like. From here, there's a beautiful thing called the undo button. You don't have to commit to anything. You can simply experiment with no consequences, and it has been instrumental for helping myself start and see through to completion builds. And if all else fails, if none of this is giving you the motivation to follow through on your builds, maybe it's time to bring along a friend. Get somebody else involved. Get their ideas, their inspiration, their take on whatever you're trying to do. Not only is their perspective going to allow you to actually get something done, but also just having a friend with you is a really nice experience. It's far more fun to build something with someone than just on your own, 9 times out of 10. So at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter how you approach building things or what you want to do or how you want to do it. The most important thing is to take a breath. Don't force yourself to rush through it. Don't force yourself to some standard. And you don't have to do it alone. Just simply have fun with the process. But for now, I've been Ben Dane, and I'll see you another time.